Hey, what you doing? It's time for another episode of Freedom of Speech on the dime with your girl Pleasure Time, and it's starting right now. Ooh, you gotta say that. Do you hear what I'm saying? Hello, somebody. Let's talk about it. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Freedom of Speech. I want to thank all of my subscribers. We're not at a lot right now, but we still would like to thank all of you who have subscribed, everyone who tuned in for our first episode, second episode. We'd like to thank you for all the reviews that came in, all the emails about different topics of discussions. All of those were noted. A lot of them are being taken into consideration. I did want to come on today to kind of address a lot of the emails that are coming in about more controversial topics. So a lot of you are asking about more controversial topics and what my views are on controversial topics such as gun control. I think I've seen one about gun control, Black Lives Matter, white supremacy, vaccines, religion, abortion. I've seen something about debt crisis, transgender rights, capital punishment, pills or opioids crisis, and those are really not topics for discussion for my channel. And the only reason why is because these topics are something that everyone is talking about. So I don't see the significance of really giving my view and going into yet another debatable something on a topic that clearly we as a nation cannot agree on. So definitely not trying to pull it up as us as a channel or platform, but just in general, just wanted to touch bases on a few. So this will be the first and final. My views, I have a lot of people who are asking about my views on gun control. I have no problem with guns. Guns don't kill people. I've had a gun on my nightstand for the last 6 months. Hasn't shot anyone because the gun itself cannot do anything. It takes someone behind the gun to do that. My biggest thing with the gun control is that it only becomes an issue, really a topic of conversation when it comes to school shootings. You know what I'm saying? So and then we look at, when we go into the school shootings, then the race issue is brought up and all of that. And see how you can see how one conversation will lead to another. So with the school shooting, predominantly of those people who were shooting the school, of course, were not of the Black or African American descent. They're of white, Hispanic, Caucasian, whatever you want to call them. So it's only a matter of discussion when it's something that's hurting that community. As far as the gun control and they're constantly advertising the black on black crimes, and it's not though the other races are not killing each other, but that is what they are shoving into the media to paint one race as monsters versus the other. And don't sit here and tell me that that's not what's being done, because it's constantly, you see very little good things that's happened throughout the Black community. And if it was so many things that were good about the Black community that were being advertised and stuff, then why is it that every time a Black person does something, it's recognized because we were the first Black to do it, or you were the first Black to do that? Well, we want to recognize you're the first Black president. You're the first Black first lady. You know what I'm saying? It's always, so if that alone, which you always having to put you're the first Black something, doesn't let you know that there's a race issue in the world, then I don't know what else can. And then you guys want to talk about abortions. Okay. What about abortions? I mean, which side are you on with this? Well, I'm not on anyone's side. And me being a female, at the end of the day, it should be the woman's choice, especially if the father is not there. Now, if the sperm donor would like to participate or is going to be there for the child, then that's one thing. But a lot of this is about you not even having the option. And I just think it's so ironic that there's so much other stuff going on in the world, but yet we seem to focus on these same topics that you don't want to put a resolution to. Is it wrong or is it not? Make up your mind. Which one are you going to side with? You can't do everything in the United States based off of the Bible if you're honoring all the other religions. So everything can't be scripted to one religion if freedom of religion is something that's honored. So of course in the Christianity state, well, abortion would be considered death, so that will be considered killing, so yes, that would be considered wrong. But in some of these aspects of these abortion things, some of these need to be medically terminated for whatever reason. So we don't know the case. All of these should be case by case scenarios, but they're not. We've turned them and molded them and trying to shape them into being something that they're not. I have a lot of things people are sending about vaccines. Well, we've been vaccinating or getting vaccinated since the beginning of time. Healthcare, that's all your choice. You know, some of you can't afford healthcare. You know, they're doing, little as possible, let's be real, little as possible to assist you with that, but they want to ensure that you have that. The vaccine, clearly it was your choice. Now, some of you, it was forced upon. But if you don't want to be vaccinated, that's your choice. You just know that you're going to have to suffer with the consequences that come with not being vaccinated, such as not being able to travel to different places or maybe not being able to enter different places. The only thing this whole thing is doing, all of these debates and all of these controversial topics, is just dividing us as a nation, dividing us as a country. And if you guys can't see that, then who's going to show it to you? Capital punishment. Why isn't the law the same everywhere? All over the United States. Why can I go to Alabama and get life for killing someone, but I can go right up the street to New York and kill someone and get 3 to 5 years? I just wanted to make sense. You know? So there's no sense of going back and forth, us as little people when we really have no power. You might as well just sit back and let everything unfold. Ensure that you're doing the things that you need to do to ensure that you don't get caught up in this mess. Whatever is going on. We're nothing but pawns in the game of life. You have no idea what's really going on in this world. A lot of you are not even woke. You're sucked in by social media, entertainment, drama, fashion, greed, lust. The list goes on. And I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of some of these same things. What I'm saying is, don't get so caught up in these things that you lose focus on their real agenda to rob, steal, kill, and destroy. They're not looking out for your best benefits here. Come on now, think about it. If these so-called controversial topics would plague us as a nation, which they do, then why are some of all these people that we're putting in office not doing anything about it? I mean, since I've had the ability to vote, it's been nothing but a shit show. Every year it's just a different shit show. And it's all about who can raise the most money. I learned that from where I was growing up. And to be Miss Homecoming, it was about, and Miss Princess, it was about who raised the most money. It was not about popularity or votes or anything like that. It was about who could raise the most money. That's a political campaign that they're starting you out young, knowing that people will back you if you can raise some money. Okay, you can raise some money, But what about giving money? During the pandemic, it took your government, look how long did it took our government to do something. And then look what they did when their money wasn't being affected. You think their money was being affected? Every time it was time for them to make a decision, what did they do? They went on another break. The whole world was on break. What were they breaking for? Out playing golf? On their boats and their yachts? Does it sound like they were suffering? But see, these are the people that we put in office. These are the people that, we vote for, we bag, we root for, or they're going to make some changes. Well, what changes have y'all seen? I haven't seen nothing but a change in face, a change in tax. That's it. Have you seen something different? Only thing I've seen is an increase in tax, food inflation, gas inflation. They want you to come out your houses, but they're not giving you a reason to. How are you going to come out your house if gas is anywhere from $6 to $10 a gallon? That's past milk. Milk ain't $1.99 no more. Milk almost $4 to $5 a gallon. Some places it is $5 a gallon. They have to choose between traveling and eating. And then employers are starting to get real stupid, because a lot of them have the opportunity to make it less, to make it more reasonable for their employees. A lot of people are allowing work from home and different stuff, and we understand that some of the jobs out there that you can do, you won't be able to work remote. But for those ones that can work remote, if it's not hindering your business, then what's the problem? That's less people on the road. That's less stress, really, for a lot of employers. Less people in the building. But to each his own. Like I said, not one of those topics of discussions that we're going to touch bases on very, very often. It's just not something that I think is going to change no matter how much, what platform, or who talks about it. So we do appreciate all the emails and comments in regards to it. But I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if these are topics and stuff and discussions that you're looking to kind of touch base on and go back and forth with debate on, you have the wrong channel, and I apologize in advance. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, let you know my views and how I felt about that. It's not one of those things that I'll be discussing. So hopefully that didn't steer you away from the channel, but if it did, have a good day. And I'm just going to wrap it up from there. So thank you guys for tuning in. This episode was brief. Most of our episodes are going to be anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on the topic and who's on studio and in set. So hopefully you guys were tuned in on the next episodes. Bye.